You sound too curious, so let's hear it from Team Volante.
Motorsports. Motorsports begin from a single spark, just like the exhilarating journey from go-karts to grand circles.
Motorsports refers to the competitive racing which involve motorized vehicles. The primary focus will also be on speed, precision, and strategy.
These events spotlight human skill and technical ability, pushing the boundaries of the performance.
Go-kart. Go-kart was first made by Artingale, who was an engineer at Kurti's kart. And that kart made its first debut at Kumana Racings, where it had a lot of hits.
It further gained popularity when people started playing in the parkings of the supermarket.
Hello, I'm Vinayak, the captain of Team Volante.
Hello, I'm Somaranjan Saw. I'm the vice captain of Team Volante.
Team Volante is a group of dedicated students who are focused on building e-go-karts and e-bahas.
Team Volante was started back in 2014 and has a long history in making electric go-karts and is now also making electric e-buggies.
This sounds interesting. So how do we get started in building a go-kart?
First, we need to know about subsystems. So let's go to Team Volante to know more about it. Hey Shriya, look, the go-kart design. So how do you start with this designing of the go-kart?
So initially we take the measurements of the track width and the wheelbase from our steering wheel. And we also consider all the various parameters given to us from the rulebook, and we design our chassis.
Okay, so what is the material of the pipe that you use, and why is this particular material used?
We use AISI 1080 steel. This material is used because it has a very good ratio of strength, reliability and toughness, as well as has very good welding properties.
Okay, so what do you think should be majorly focused when you're designing a go-kart?
Major focus is the driver's safety. We included various parameters for the driver's safety, which includes firewall, fire extinguisher, side bumpers and different bumper. We did various impact tests on the go-kart to check whether it has the required efforts. If you have any other doubts regarding the track width and the wheelbase, you can consult the steering subsystem.
Hey, the steering looks fun. So what is the concept behind this?
Yeah, you're right. So we'll know the concept about steering from the steering department.
Hey guys, I'm here to clarify all your doubts and queries.
So yeah, what is this track width and what's the wheelbase and how do we find it? How do we calculate it?
Track width is the distance between the center of the tires in the race.
Okay.
From that tire center to this tire center, where wheelbase is the distance between the front tire, the center of the front tire and the rear tire. And we take it based on the rule book. They have given the maximum value for the track width and the wheelbase in the rule book. And we have to make sure that it satisfies the Ackermann geometry based on the formulas of the Ackermann geometry.
How is this related to the steering geometry?
So basically we need the track width length to get the length of the tie rod and the coordinates of the pigment triangle, which enables us to give the steering.
So what exactly is Ackermann geometry and how do we enable this?
Ackermann geometry is basically the angle that happens, the inner and outer angles, which charges the turning of the wheels.
Okay, how do you near such high speeds during the turns?
The braking team will explain you all.
What is the basic concept that we use in our braking system?
Here we use the principle of fluid mechanics. So here kinetic energy is converted into heat energy by friction.
So how exactly does these brakes work?
The pressure induced in a master cylinder by the brake paddle actuates the brake pads over the brake disc, which in turn stops the rotatory motion of the rear axle.
So what is the major problem that you face in the braking and how do you resolve it?
One major issue that we face in the braking system is that the channels have air bubbles. These air bubbles lead to ineffective compression of the brake oil, which in turn leads to non-optimal or suboptimal braking of the vehicle. This is solved by the method of bleeding.
So you spoke about the deceleration of the vehicle. So what about the acceleration?
So your electric powertrain is responsible for this mobility of the go-kart.
As we know that engines are the heart of combustion vehicles. Similarly, motors are the heart of electrical vehicles.
Okay. Let us know some more insights about the electrical aspect from the electrical team itself.
Hi, I'm Shruti. I'm here to give you a brief about electrical aspects. As we know, motor is the one that provides power to the whole e-vehicle. So here, while selecting a motor, you have to take few factors into consideration. That is, the motor should have low maintenance and it should provide high motion efficiency. The motor we have used here, it is a VLDC motor which is of 4 kilowatt. It provides rated current of 48 amperes and rated voltage of 60 volts.
So what are the major batteries that we use here?
The batteries which we use is of lithium ion type. The battery is selected in keeping in mind to ensure low maintenance, fast charging and high efficiency. It has 13 cells in series and 22 cells in parallel. It has a 48 volt voltage rating and a current rating of 60 amperes. It has a rate capacity of 55 ampere hours which ensures a sustainable long.
Okay. We all know that our number one priority is driver safety. So what are some of the steps that are implemented for the driver safety?
So let's start off with basics. We have provided 2 kill switches and 1 limiting switch. One kill switch that is present towards the right hand side of the driver so that it is easily accessible. The other kill switch, it is placed behind the fire hose that is over there. There is a limiting switch that is placed below the brake which cuts the current or the power supply when there is excess of power or there is a case of brake failure. So the safety of the driver is a number one priority.
Secondly, we have used LoRa S6102 sensor to ensure safety and good driving experience by remote monitoring the different battery temperature levels and the consumption levels and displaying various details through a LED printed display.
We are also trying to implement a TM31 sensor to assist the driver. Now let's talk about LV circuits. LV circuits, we use a software named as Tinkercad in order to stimulate these LV circuits, and then these stimulated circuits are then implemented into actual circuits.
So the major question I have is why electrical and why not IC?
Why electrical? Why not IC? It's because it's highly economical, energy efficient, low maintenance and operational cost is also very low. So that's why nowadays electrical vehicles are in a great mood.
Okay. What are some of the innovations that have done in traditional go-kart?
The innovations which we have inculcated in a go-kart is, as you know that there are different sort of races in an event, such as drag test and endurance test. To compete in those races efficiently, we need different different changes of acceleration and speed. Those sorts of change of acceleration and speed is provided by a stipulated control management system which helps to control the power supply.
Here we are trying to provide 3 different modes. The first is eco mode, the second is the standard mode, and third is the sports mode. In the eco mode, it is basically for the battery conservation. So here what we do is the power supply, it is very limited, it is not excess. So the acceleration here is lower and the top speed is also lower. Second is the standard mode. In standard mode, the power supply is optimal. Here we get a balance of natural balance of efficiency as well as performance. And the third mode is sports mode. It is provided for the ultimate experience of go-karting. So here what we do is the power which is supplied is greater than what we usually supply. So naturally the acceleration we get is faster and is greater, and also the top speed is greater than usual.
So do you think go-karting is just an expensive hobby, or do you think you can make money out of it?
I think. Okay, so go-kart, is it just an expensive hobby or can we actually make money out of it?
Go-kart is not just an expensive hobby, we can actually make money out of it. As you can see, the go-kart industry has been booming nowadays. And for that we have 3 models. One is model ITSI, which is for kids, which is basically, which consists of basically a go-kart with funny stickers and for make them to learn and for an outdoor fun activities for kids. And there is another model called as Aurora, which is for commercial purpose, which have a proper powerful battery and motor, but basically for economical mode. And there is another model called Inferno, which is for the sports mode, which is basically for a people who is very much interested in the go-kart racing and much more things. Yeah. As we know from the innovation that we have 2 modes, we can switch in between 2 modes of the go-kart from economy and from sports. Economy is basically for the people who are, which is more affordable and which is just for fun rides and safer rides. and for the commercial purpose. Whereas when we come to the sports mode, which is basically for an sports enthusiast, motorsports enthusiast, and it is also consists of very high speed and very good for racing. And
Who are your target audience?
when it comes to target audience, our revenue is basically offering the go-kart for a passionate enthusiast and also for the dynamic corporate event partnerships. And also we'll offer go-kart for the companies which give the go-karts for recreational purposes.